Alright guys, so I am about to make some raw chocolate here. I'll show you my ingredients that I've got going on. I've got some raw dates, so whole pitted dates, and I'm going to use some Giddy Yo-Yo chocolate or cacao powder. So cacao is different from cocoa because it's unheated. Then I've got some cacao that's straight from the cacao bean. This cacao is actually, I put the whole cacao bean, or the cacao nibs I should say, through my Angel juicer, and it actually made an amazing cacao paste. So that's what I'm using now, instead of buying, all the separate elements. I mean, this time I'm using some powder because I'm a little bit short actually on the cacao paste. So I'm going to use some powder, and once you guys get to know me, you'll realize that I don't normally follow much of a recipe. I like to be intuitive with my creating, and I like to, add ingredients and allow my sense of, touch and taste to be able to lead me. So allowing really the food to lead instead of, with fresh food, it can change, the sweetness of the dates, the texture, the moistness of the dates can change. All these different things come into play when you're working with fresh, raw, plant-based vegan foods. So when you're using the whole food, you have to consider that you're never going to receive the same batch of peaches, the same batch of dates, coconuts. I mean, they're going to be similar, but you have to kind of use your own intuitive knowledge, and kind of trust the process. I really like to kind of listen and trust the process. So let's get going here. So I've got the dates. I'm going to just make sure this is plugged in. Okay, got a few cords happening here. Okay, so we're gonna get those going, and then, okay, so I've got 12 dates in there right now, and then I'm gonna add this coconut cream. So I put that, I did a video on making this coconut cream, so you can have a look for that, and you did that through the Angel juicer. Okay, so now we're gonna add some of this coconut cream to the mix to kind of go to make it a little bit, yeah, oh yeah. So that was, yeah, so 12 dates now mixed with about half a cup of coconut cream. Get that nice and smooth. And then once we have that nice and smooth, then we're going to add the cacao powder and the raw cacao paste that I made all by myself. You can buy, yeah, the butter and the cacao paste already done, but I like, having the experience of doing it myself. And when I found out that I can do it through the Angel juicer, oh wow, it's just such a, I don't know, liberating experience for myself. I felt, it's like when you start making your own clothes, you start making your own chocolate and coconut paste, and yeah, it's kind of a neat thing. All right, so you can see that we've got, some smoothness happening here. I would like it to be a little bit smoother so we don't get any chunky bits in the chocolate. I mean, sometimes we do, and That's okay. All right, let's get my spatula. So yeah, so this is a raw, vegan, plant-based, whole food, chocolate whole food for the whole experience. That's kind of my deal. You know, you really want to experience life to its fullest. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables. You know, Einstein, one of Einstein's quotes and one of my favorites are, look to nature and you will understand everything better. You know, I feel that way about fresh, ripe, whole, plant-based foods. It's like you really embody, you know, how they've been grown. You are, like, you are what you eat. You know, you eat the fruit and you take on its energy and the life force that it has, and you know that includes the living enzymes. We need those living enzymes to thrive, to absorb our nutrients, to absorb our minerals. Without that, then our body becomes tired and sluggish, and you know, we feel depressed. You know, we have all these different symptoms and we're kind of wondering why we're feeling like this. Well, I'd ask you to have a look at the foods you're eating. Are the foods that you're eating living foods? Are they foods that were grown out in the sun? Maybe they were grown in a greenhouse? You know, I go as far as meeting a lot of my farmers, you know, that grow my food. I think that's one of the biggest gifts about, you know, living in a place that has farmers markets. I get to connect with my farmers. I get to see them. I get to, you know, feel their energy and hear their story. And then I just like, that brings so much more value to eating and nourishing myself when I know, you know, kind of the link, when I'm connecting that link. So, you know, and maybe you're not feeling this way, but, you know, if ever, you know, you're kind of wondering why you might be in a slump, or, you know, the sun's out, but you're still in bed, you know, just have a check-in with, like, the foods that you're eating, and maybe if they're coming from a box, or if they're animal products, then those foods aren't giving you what you need, you know. With animal products, there's I had to consider, you know, the energy that's being transmitted through that, meaning, you know, they're pumped, first of all, full of hormones and antibiotics and different things, so you take on that. Another thing is that you take on their pain body, so if they're experiencing pain, which most likely they are when they're being killed, or as they're, you know, going through life, then consider that you may be you know, taking that on. And, you know, for me, I always make my choices by, is this the most compassionate thing? Because I ask myself, how would I prefer to feel? Would I prefer to feel loving, compassionate, kind? Are my food choices reflecting that? Are the things that I do reflecting that? So this chocolate is totally reflecting that, you know, the compassion, because I'm, first of all, in love with the chocolate. It makes me feel more loving, and I also really love to share it. I love to know that people really enjoy this chocolate and that there was no harm done along the way. You know, the chocolate's from an ethical source. Wow, that's cool. The coconuts are also from an ethical source. So it's just, you know, it's the whole experience. You really get to receive, you know, that real good kind of like you eat something and you just, you know on the inside that it's good for you. And for me, that's liberation, when there is no doubt in the foods that you're eating. So if you have doubt, then just have a look. For me, I have no doubt about fruits and vegetables. They have been providing me with the full experience for 4 years now, and I'm just so happy and feel blessed to be able to share that with you. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll give you a glimpse at this chocolate before we go. It is almost done. Oh yeah. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to do two things. I'm going to put it into little chocolate molds. So I'm going to have, for my retreat this weekend, chocolate hearts, and I'm also going to do chocolate covered bananas. So, oh, so good. All right, so that's what I'm going to be doing, and wish I could share it with you. Maybe someday I will have it out there for purchase. Who knows? Anyways, lots of love. Bye for now.